Hi, besties. Thanks for joining this week. I have a very fun guest. I got to be on her podcast last week, and it was so much fun that, of course, she had to come on mine. I have Donna Bowling of the Daily Dose of Donna podcast. Thank you for joining, Donna.
I am so excited. And the fact that you start the show by saying, "Hey, besties," I'm like, yes, that's me. I'm a
Yes,
bestie. I'm a
you
bestie.
are. We're all besties here. I
I
mean, I
love it.
know it's like it's a little soft work, but I don't know. It's just kind of fun to be able to call someone your bestie. Okay.
I think if
Um,
you share the love of reality shows the way we do, and especially these kinds of Bravo shows, like we're getting really niche. We're not talking Bachelor. We're not talking about
right.
Love Island. We're not Netflix. We're on
No.
Bravo. It's like such a
Hmm.
specific crew, and either you
It is.
got it or you don't. So we're immediate besties.
See, you get it. That you get the entire premise. Because sometimes I'm sitting here explaining to people, okay, like I know the name's a little juvenile, but it's like Besties by Bravo because you feel like you're instantly besties, and it's like I don't know, it makes you feel the same way you did when you were like in elementary school and you bonded over both loving pink flowers. I mean, it's like
It's very
same thing.
cultish. It's like a healthy
Yes.
cult.
Yes, healthy cult. That's what we're gonna call it. I like that. So yeah, you can find Donna over on again Daily Dose of Donna. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on TikTok, and your Instagram is it is Donna Bowling,
No,
correct? Am I?
this is.
This is Donna Bowling, and it's
Yes,
spelled
Donna Bowling was
Dana.
taken, and I think there is a bowling alley called Dana probably because it's spelled Dana. I'm just like a big ball of confusion. Just I'm sure there's a link somewhere you can find.
Yeah, I will be linking it in the show notes, and obviously I'll be, tagging you. Yeah, tagging you. That's what we're calling it on
Yeah, we tag.
YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's Caitlin Marshall. I've tried every variation I could of my name, and I mean, it's not available either. So I
I
feel yeah,
know. I
Besties by
know.
Bravo it is.
I like it better actually. It's good. It's very specific.
Very, very niche. Okay, I before we even jump into this Summer House episode, I do. Wow, so we got the trailer for the new New York. It's looking more promising than I expected, and I was I being a judgy wudgy about it beforehand? Yes. Am I going to be more positive about it now? Yes. What
I
did you
have
think
to
of it?
say, I have to say, I feel the same way as you. I was really, really like I was set to hate it.
Same.
I kind of like just out of why, for what reason? I don't know. Just principle. We don't like change, right?
No.
So and it's younger girls, and I already imagine like, is it going to be annoying? But that trailer, maybe they have the same crew that's working on Vanderpump for the trailers because it was a good trailer.
Evolution.
It made
Yeah.
me number one. It's pretty. Like the girls are
Mhm.
beautiful. The sights, everything, the way they dress, and then I
Yes.
like that they all look so different.
Mm-hmm.
I like that no one is
Diversity.
like, it's not like six blondes, right? Like when you look at us.
Yeah, exactly.
And
As
then,
we say here.
yeah, and I like that it looked like they got in some real drams.
Yeah, I agree. Because I very much am always going to be married to our Roni girls season 6 through 10. I mean, oh my God, season 9. It's just like I could go on for days. We did not know how good we had it.
I know,
It's like
seriously, it really went
so good.
downhill.
Yeah, for real, it did. And then they announced. Now, this was interesting with the way Peacock did the visuals on this. And they announced it on Twitter that they are doing their ultimate girls trip of the Roni girls. And they have Ramona, Dorinda, Kristen, and I just forgot her last name.
Hickman.
Okay. Thank you. Um, so
It's
many
it's
names to
a
remember
sign that
sometimes.
none of us can remember anything about Kristen.
You know what? That's true. Except for like at least I'm pretty.
Oh my
Who can
God,
forget that?
yes.
It's bad. And then they've got Kelly Ben Simone. Now there are two and Luann. How could I forget? Did we see Sonia's name on there?
Yes,
Yes.
Sonia's on it.
There are two apples dangling from the tree. They have apples next to everyone's name at the bottom of this, and then
Oh,
they have two apples dangling from the tree. Now, was it intentional?
I didn't
I don't
even
know.
notice this in the image.
Yeah. So Bravo, like I've said this before, Bravo is turning us all into basically, I don't know, a different version of Swifties constantly looking for Easter eggs and everything.
So
But
true.
I'm hearing now, this is all alleged, and I wish I could totally confirm it, but I just cannot. That those two dangling apples might be Bethany and Jill. So we are going to have to find out. I would love it. I would love it.
Okay, here's my thought. Number one, instant drama, instant like
Bam.
watchability factor is off the charts for those two, right?
Right.
That would be absolutely incredible. However, personally, I love Jill,
Mm,
by the way. Love Jill. I am
right.
such a Jill Zarin stan. I really do love Jill. Bethany is, she has touched every nerve on my body. And I know that that's an unpopular opinion, but I struggle. I struggle.
Yeah. Um, here's the thing. I had always been a huge Bethany fan. And I'm just going to go ahead and call out that there is a massive, like, military airplane flying over the house right now. Y'all, everything's good. If you do
I
hear
don't
this on
hear it.
YouTube, oh, this mic might pick it up. If it does, wow. Because I, for a second, went, what is there thunder happening? No, that was a military airplane. You're in LA. You're used to, the helicopters and all that.
Yeah.
Bethany, I used to, now, I don't have a dislike for her the way everyone does now. I think Bethany, the thing that I just don't love that she's doing right now is the beauty influencing as though she knows what she's doing. We've got plenty of beauty influencers who can afford also and receive these free products that not all of us can afford. Bethany doesn't know what it means, the difference between what type of primer you need to use with this and that. Like, yes, it was funny watching her go by some preparation H. Like, I get it. Like, I would have been wondering the same thing and having the same stressors. Like, I don't want to go ask someone if y'all haven't seen that video. It was cute and funny. But I'm not going to Bethany for makeup advice because there are makeup artists with like years of experience. I want to see Bethany doing normal Bethany things. I don't know. I would be more interested in her doing skincare reviews than I think I would be into her doing the makeup stuff because makeup is it's tough. Okay. Like it is really tough. And you go to any makeup artist and you're going to get a different answer on a different day. Like, I mean, it just changes. And so it's a little tough for me with that. And sending those cease and desist letters to so many like small influencers. Like you're the big bad wolf. Like you don't need to do that. Like you're better than that. You know what I mean?
Oh my
So
gosh, don't
that's
get
the
me
only where I have an
started.
issue.
I mean, number one, um, I'm blocked on TikTok. Bethany blocked me. And
Shut up.
yeah. And like when I tell you she blocked me, when Daily Dose of Donna was in its first week because I mentioned her name in a TikTok. Mentioned it. Like I didn't even talk. It wasn't even about her. It was about Tracy Anderson. And I said that some people are very Sue happy and like people like Bethany. That's all I said. I got blocked. I never trolled her account. I never talked crap. Now, here's the thing. Bethany, bless her heart, this person, she works her butt off to constantly be there for her people. However,
Mm-hmm.
it speaks such it just feels like trying too hard. Like I've never seen anyone that creates so many TikToks in one day. Why are you such a multimillionaire mogul with multiple podcasts and this and that, and you're on TikTok 8 times a day? She's on TikTok as many times as I check, like as I text my bestie. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's a lot. And I think what Bethany needs for someone who technically has a very savvy marketing brain, the idea that she is not realizing she is oversaturating things, like you can't, just in the same way the Kardashians have oversaturated every market. You want to have your hands in the food, in the alcohol, in beauty, in skincare. You want to be on Shark Tank. You want, like, what is it that you're doing? Like,
She's just looking really, really like she keeps looking for something to almost fill this void. The thing is, I think she thrives, and a lot of people do, right? Thrives on
yeah,
the attention that she gets, the feedback that she gets, because she has huge fans. Like her
yeah,
people that love her, and she could literally do a whole video with. We saw it with disgusting food in her teeth, chewing loudly. Like it was. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of misophonia, which
I have
means
it
like,
too.
okay,
Yeah,
I like actually struggle listening to people eat. To
same.
watch that and listen to that
No.
was so hard. And I'm thinking the comments, like one person said, because I think she's deleting, whoever's there is deleting negative comments because you very rarely see negative comments. And I know
Right.
that like normal people like her, you would see more negative comments, but she deletes and blocks, deletes and blocks, deletes and blocks. It's the queen of like dishing it but can't take it. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to see her back on Housewives. I think if she went back on Housewives, it would almost be like rewarding someone for really bad behavior.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't totally disagree with that. It's maybe if she went back on Housewives, she would stop doing so much on social media, is
Get
the
off
thing.
of TikTok. Get
Yeah.
like put your phone away for 5.
God. Yeah. No, I feel you on the misophonia. Like, I can't even really go to the movie theater because if I hear, let me tell you, when I went and watched A Quiet Place, the
Of course, it was
the
called A Quiet Place.
of course it was because there was some jackass in the front of this theater, and when I he had to have been deliberately doing this. Like there was no way that is how you chew in general, but also in a movie called A Quiet Place, whatever. I have never had more homicidal feelings than I had
No,
during that
it's a
movie.
problem.
Okay, now that
I
we're getting
stopped going
triggered.
to movies a lot because of this. Like I'll go with my kids
Yes.
if I have to, but I would really suffer. I suffer through it if people are
Yes.
chewing popcorn near me.
Like I find myself glaring at a complete stranger as though they have murdered a dog in front of me. I genuinely do. And I'm like, Caitlin, you've got to calm down, but I can't. Like there's something like the hackles. I
It's
turned
crazy
into the
what it
monster from The
triggers.
Quiet Place.
No, it's
That's
a
exactly
real
what it
deal thing that we
It
struggle
is.
with. Like, and I think people joke about it, but it really is a. And so, like, how do we function on TikTok when everyone's eating and posting?
The mukbang stuff, yeah, it's tough.
Oh my
It's
God.
tough.
And like, I kind of sometimes can't stop watching it, but I want to stop, but it's like the slurp. They all slurp in their sandwich. Who slurps a sandwich?
It's like the cheese doesn't need just pull it off. Pull it off.
Okay, this is not a mukbang podcast.
No. But I am going to tell you, you know what, content creators who do the mukbang, of course, I don't even know if maybe I don't understand mukbang, but you know what? If you put music over, I'm okay. I can survive
Yeah, I
that.
don't mind watching it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, feel you. Um, well, you know, speaking of being triggered is all I can say Danielle is in this entire season.
Season?
Can I thought I was going to be team Danielle with this falling out with Lindsay.
I think a lot of people thought they were going to be because we were waiting for this huge thing to show up.
I'm just Danielle, girl, what you would have thought somebody died. I mean, listen, I get it. You know, if my very best friend, I don't know, like if they and I were that good of friends, I guess, with, you know, her boyfriend and they were getting engaged, would I be disappointed at not knowing or being involved? Yes. Would I be devastated? No.
I wouldn't be disappointed and I wouldn't be devastated and I wouldn't be sad. I think it's actually very strange. And maybe this is like a new generation thing. I mean, I'm 41, 42 this year. When I turned 30, when I was 30, I think my husband proposed when I was 30 or like 29, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No one was aware. No one gave a crap. Like not one person. Like my mom knew because she went with him and she took him to her jeweler to like get the ring. Other than that, no one knew and no one cared. I don't care if my little sister got engaged a few months ago. I was like, amazing.
Aw.
Was I mad? What
No.
is this? What are we missing? Now, I think see, you could say that maybe she was a little bummed when she found out that he flew so many people in, including her other best friend. And she was like, wait, you knew about this a few days ago because you had to fly in? I didn't even know about it.
And
But
it's
she was
happening
mad
like a few
even
miles away.
before she knew about that. She was mad
True.
way earlier than that. She was mad just knowing that he was shopping for rings. Let's call
She
a spade
screamed
a
into a
spade.
pillow.
Yeah. Like let's not pretend that it's about the fact that you weren't involved. It's about the
Right.
fact that they got engaged.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing too, is like then when you stop and think about it, well, should Carl have said something if he's telling Kyle? Well, if here's the thing, if you think about it from Carl's perspective, I would think if I were Carl, I'd be afraid that Danielle, by way of her attitude, would give away that I was about to propose. She'd have something to say and she wouldn't be able to shut her mouth beforehand if I'm wanting it to be a surprise. The way Danielle's being, it's just kind of like it's bizarre. And I feel like Danielle, up until this season, has been a better friend to Lindsay than Lindsay has to her. And so it's really strange. And I don't know. You hear stuff that I don't know. It just, for me, whenever you hear about celebrities or Bravo Lebs being nice or rude, whatever, in public to fans, I tend to take it all with a grain of salt because if someone were coming up to me, now I'm going to tell y'all, my willingness to be ugly as hell in public is completely different than my willingness to be ugly on the internet, okay? I don't look like this when I go to the grocery store. And if I looked like my busted ass self and some fans like, hey, let me take a picture with you when I haven't washed my hair in 4 days and I don't know, I have a giant zit on my face, I'm going to be like, absolutely not. Like, thank you. I'm so appreciative of you. But I am hearing, I'm prefacing all this. I am hearing and seeing little rumblings of Danielle not being very nice to fans. And
Ooh.
and it's I'm seeing little tidbits where I'm like, I could see that. Because you know the way she was talking to that producer that I think he was British, you know, you could
Mhm.
hear him. And I I mean, when she was having the meltdown going, I can do this. I can do this. Girl, you can do what? Go walk over and just smile for your best friend who just got engaged, what she's wanted her entire freaking life. Go have a drink and just shut up, which
Well,
she didn't.
it's interesting. It's like she was struggling and creating this huge drama, but no one else was part of it. So like Carl didn't know he was creating this drama at all. I don't
Yeah.
think Carl thought for 1 second, I'm going to piss Danielle off when I propose without telling Danielle. I think Carl was
Right.
blindsided by this like freak. Um, I think Lindsay obviously had no idea, and she shouldn't be
No,
blamed for even a second for any of it.
no.
But so this was a Danielle against Danielle argument,
You're
right? Like
so right.
she was mad for herself, with herself, and against herself. And she was spiraling because I'm not going to lie, like you see a lot of drinking on these shows, right? You see a
Yeah.
lot of drinking, and especially in this episode, oh my God, they were just hammered from morning till night on that boat.
Oh my
But
God.
Danielle is a big drinker. And I don't
Mm,
think you like, if you start to realize, because she doesn't show up as like Kyle does when he's drunk. Like she keeps it
mm,
together, but this girl
mm-hmm.
drinks from morning till night. Like on those weekends, she wakes up and drinks Coors Lights. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like she'll be hungover and she'll be like, need a beer. Okay.
Ah,
I'm not saying that she has like a problem or anything. I'm just saying
no.
anything alcohol fueled is going to be enhanced.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she spiraled. She freaking spiraled. And I'm
She
not
sure
saying
did.
it's because of the alcohol, but the alcohol
Doesn't help.
100% enhances everything. And that's why she was hysterical, hyperventilating over the fact that she had to show up for their engagement party.
Which, you know, and when she's like, what? I'm going to show up in dungarees? Like, okay, Danielle, calm down. You are younger than I am to be using the word dungarees. Like, let's chill for a second, okay? When Paige was like, what are dungarees? Like, okay, Miss Fashion, how do you not know?
Wait, aren't dungarees actually the brand?
I think so. When I
Yes,
picture
they're the
dungar,
brand.
yeah, I picture them
I'm gonna
those
do
like
some.
80s, like pleated front. That's what I picture them as, right?
No, but I really actually. Well, let's see.
That actually that makes sense that it is the brand. Kind of like, oh, let me show up in a pair of Jinkos.
Okay, but the
How's
meaning
that
of
for a
dungaree
throwback?
is a heavy, coarse, durable cotton twill woven from colored yarn. So definitely, like it
That
actually
was
is, dungarees
quick, Donna.
are a British word to describe basically jeans. But I do think dungarees is a
Interesting.
brand.
I my thought was in agreement with that. So,
Wait, why did she call them dungarees? Maybe it isn't a brand.
that is really interesting.
I don't think it's a brand. I'm looking.
That's really, yeah, because you know that look, I don't know. It did it crack me up though when Paige was like, Lindsay knew she was getting engaged. She wore shoulder pads to the beach. Like, Lindsay, you're not going to convince me Lindsay didn't have like some form of an idea that it might have been happening. We've
Yeah, but you
seen,
know what? I knew I was getting proposed to, and Lance, my husband, did not share a word with me. But sometimes a woman just has an intuition. I think a
yeah,
lot of women do.
I did too when it, happened for me, but I didn't think it was happening the day it was happening. So I showed up with dirty hair and it was not cute.
Yeah, so you
Um,
didn't have an intuition then. Like you knew it was going to happen at some point, but you didn't feel like it was happening
on a
that day.
trip. On a trip.
Yeah,
I knew, but it was like surely not on my birthday that it was happening. Was what I thought.
that's
So,
the day I would think it would happen.
yeah, see, yeah.
I just had a feeling. I just knew it. I was like, something's up. We're going out to dinner on a Tuesday,
Well, there you go. Yeah.
you know? But yeah, look, maybe she
Hmm.
didn't know. Maybe she did. Who knows? But regardless, you know, It's also on TV. Like, she's also on a TV show. So, like,
I
maybe she
like
did
that
want
she
to
was
look
prepared.
good.
I like that she was prepared is basically where I'm going. Like, because I thought it was happening. I just didn't think it was happening during the day. I thought maybe it would happen at night. I don't know. When it happened, I didn't think it was going to. And I almost passed out because I was so surprised by how it all
For
went
you.
down.
I was like, for Lindsay, you passed out.
No. Yes, I'm that invested. Listen, I'm invested, but like, so yeah, I mean, look, she knew it was coming. Danielle to be that completely and totally clueless, it was just kind of weird the way it all went down when she got the news, right? And she goes around telling everyone at the party, yeah, well, I only just found out. No, I had no idea. And I was glad Lindsay's friend was like, you need to not do this. And the other girls were saying as well, like from the house, she needs to like chill the fuck out because it was too much.
Yeah.
And so this episode, it starts with Robert's conversation with Carl, which we know Robert and Danielle broke up anyway. And Robert, like, you're never there. I don't know.
Felt like
I think
an overstep beyond.
right? I mean,
I was
don't,
not a fan of Robert in that episode at all. It felt so uncalled for.
Yeah, I think I mostly stopped being any fan of Robert whatsoever once I knew they broke up because it's like she was wanting more of a commitment from him. And I think that's also the underlying issue Danielle had. Obviously.
This was about Danielle.
All 100%. I did feel so bad for Carl though, and I feel like everyone is over dramatizing it a bit. It's reality TV, I get it. But I did feel bad for Carl in that moment where he was like, I feel like I ruined 6 years of a friendship by not including Danielle in a proposal. It should not be like that, okay? There should be, unless he held a sign that said, F you, Danielle, as he was proposing, I don't see why it was just bizarre.
And on that same note, Danielle mentions later that, sorry to jump ahead, but Danielle mentions later that she was really bummed that Lindsay found out that she was hurt and still didn't care because she thought, okay, fine, Lindsay didn't know she was getting engaged, so it's not Lindsay's fault. But afterwards, knowing that I was hurt, she still didn't care. But I'm 175% Team Lindsay on this situation, okay? You are in, I remember when I got engaged, that first week, those first couple weeks, like you're in untouchable heavenly state.
Yes,
right?
Cloud Nine.
You're so happy. Everywhere you're going, people are excited. You're showing your ring to everyone. You're getting phone calls, text messages. You're going out to dinner every night. Like you're in such a good state. And to have a person like Danielle who's giving you nothing but a hard time, and you're hearing already multiple people from your engagement party are saying, oh my God, Danielle came up to me, like her best friend that flew in was probably like, Danielle was crying to me about this. And Lindsay was probably fed up at that part. Why would she go to Danielle and be like, I'm so sorry that, in fact, if anything, the second that Robert and Danielle were talking and Danielle knew that Carl went off and was pissed, that was a moment for Danielle to apologize. Danielle should have apologized. Oh my God, Carl, I understand, like I'm upset, but I'm so sorry that you're taking this so hard. I am so sorry. Let's move on. I love you. Like, please don't be that upset. Don't leave. Like,
yeah,
Danielle
I
turned
think
herself into such a victim here.
She was so far gone at that point that pride was not going to let her do that. And that's what's hard is when she has gone and bitched to her boyfriend about it so much that he has now gotten upset and tried to have her back. And you know how it is, like sometimes when you vent to your partner and you're like, it sounds like I'm just gonna go ahead and admit sometimes we make it sound like it's slightly more upsetting than maybe it was because we just need to get it out, right? And then when the guy or your partner, whoever, is like, fine, I'm gonna go say something about it, that's when you typically go, no, it's fine, please don't, I'm just venting, I don't need you to take action, I need to know that you would take action if I needed you to, but I never
Danielle
want you to.
100% wanted him to have that
That's
conversation.
The way, exactly. And that's the way, this is the normal thing, is to be like, okay, no, honey, I don't want you involved, right?
Please don't get involved. Let's not make it worse.
That right there. Let's not make it worse.
And she
because
was like,
that's what we do.
Let's make it worse.
let's just go for it. I mean, let's just make things so much worse that it's like, there's no coming back from it. Because, it's like, instead of just being like, congratulations, man, like if he really felt like he needed to have a conversation and be like, okay, you know what, congratulations. I'm Lindsay, blah, blah, blah. Can I talk? Not today. Danielle's a little bummed that she wasn't involved, but you know what? We're just so excited to be celebrating you and be a part of your wedding.
Yeah.
Danielle would have been in that wedding party. You know she would have. Why'd she that if she really wanted to be a part of it, that's bigger. That's the bigger thing to be a part of. You get to enjoy the festivities with your friend. Like
I don't think Danielle would have ever been in the wedding party at this point, even if she
not
like
now.
not even if the Robert conversation never happened. Because once you hear that your best friend, your quote unquote friend, or one of your girlfriends went around to your party and like talked so badly, like there's no way. Like it's you need to trust that party. And I had someone in my wedding party who yelled at me on my wedding day, and I'll never forget it. And so there's like that's such a sensitive situation. I will say in this moment, I did feel for Kyle.
I
I
did
felt for
too.
Kyle because he went out there to try to talk to Carl, and Carl and Lindsay quickly were like, "Peace," right?
Yeah, I think Lindsay misunderstood my
She did.
assumption. I typically now bear with me here because I'm not typically Team Lindsay, but I think I because I told you as we were getting on this call, like, I had to watch it more than once because the second time I saw it, I went, oh, she didn't get that he was not the one berating him, giving him hell for not
Yeah,
including Danielle in the proposal. I
I
think
think
she
Lindsay
needed to
thought that
chill for a
Kyle.
second and listen, and he
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I think Lindsay thought Kyle was taking Danielle's side and coming down on them about it. And
He
Lindsay
did
was
for a
just like, F
second.
this. But, Lindsay and Carl, when they were walking off to the car, you heard, it was cutting out, like microphones are cutting out because they probably like walked away so far from the cameras. But
Yeah.
basically, something along the lines of, I I told you, babe, that we
Hmm.
can, babe. I told you, babe, we
Babe, babe,
cannot get
babe.
upset. You cannot get upset tonight. Like they knew what they were walking in on, and that's why I think they were so easily just like, let's go. Like they
Yeah,
knew it was going to be bad, and also like those are not their people. Like
not
what in
anymore.
what world is everyone shocked that they said that they have to go be with their real friends? Their only real friend was Danielle, and she's not being a friend. And maybe
Right.
Kyle a little, but not even
Hmm.
really, because Kyle's like with all the girls. Those girls and Lindsay and Carl, none of them connect well. It
No.
doesn't make any sense. They need to be off that show.
Yeah, they don't have a place there anymore. Now, do I want Lindsay to still be on Bravo. I think Lindsay was born to be a reality TV star. And I say star, like I don't call every single one of these people on these shows reality TV stars. Lindsay is, she knows how to naturally bring it without forcing anything, I mean, she's herself. Is she a little nutty sometimes? Absolutely. But do I love seeing her yelling, how many sandwiches have you made me? Yes, I love that. Give me more of that. Is she someone that I could handle on a daily basis? Probably not. But like, I love seeing her on there. So I don't know where we go from here, which was, kind of one of my questions I had here in my notes for you was like, what do we do with them now? Like, it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, Lindsay's not going to be on the new Roni. She can't fit in with the New Jersey. So where do we put her? Because I think the Martha's Vineyard crew, if it does well, I think, Summer House, we may
I think
be
Summer House
seeing
is
it.
over.
Yeah, I think it's
My
on the
gut
teeter.
feeling, my heart is telling me, my gut, my Bravo TV watchers,
Hmm.
Bravo released their list of upcoming shows for 2023-24, and
Oh,
Summer House
yeah.
was gone. I mean, it wasn't there. And that doesn't mean that it's gone
It
forever, because
was, wasn't it?
yeah, it wasn't on the list. And like, fine, maybe it hasn't officially been picked up for next season, but every show was on there. Like the most random shows were on there. And Summer House is a big, talked about show. I just don't think they can do it in that iteration. Like maybe
No,
they'll have to. So maybe there isn't a show for them. I mean, Carl is not good TV. Carl's boring
no.
as all can be.
Yeah,
I
I
could
agree.
not. If I had to watch a show about Lindsay and Carl, I would
No.
die. Lindsay,
Yes.
fine, but like those two are not good TV
You
together.
know, and Memorial Day is not far off, and that's when they start their summer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're, uh-oh. Yeah, that's not looking good. You know what, Paige? Jumping ahead in this episode, you better start considering keeping Craige around because you may have to jump on down to Southern Charm, honey.
Oh my gosh. Well, do you want
Yikes.
to talk about Paige and Craig?
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. It is interesting that we're getting what the stereotype of it being the female talking to the friends about, I just want to get engaged. This is where I thought we would be going. And it is interesting that we have a different dynamic here with the two of them. Now, I take it super genuinely that Craige wants to just really in the real world be married to Paige right now? No, because I think he wants a special on their wedding and wants to ride that high.
Oh,
of
really?
them. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he knows that that this little bit of their relationship being a commodity on Bravo, it ain't gonna last forever. Because we're seeing the dynamics of this relationship where I don't know, Paige wasn't being very nice to him. Craige can be a bit of a toddler. He has big feelings. Big feelings. I think it was Leva that said that one time, and I fully agree. But I also think that Paige could have been a little nicer to him, even though he was drunk crying. We know it's very clear. What are your thoughts on the two of them and all of this?
Um, I don't think I actually really like Paige this season. Like I haven't liked her so much in the past, but this season for whatever reason I really like her. However, I can see, the side of her that is unlikable and the, laying in bed all day, shit talking type of personality. She's not necessarily probably someone that I'd be best friends with because she's
Right.
so obsessed with fashion and looks. That's just not like super interesting to me. But I do find her funny.
She is
And like
funny.
she's got really good one-liners. She's got great
Oh my
moments,
gosh.
right?
And she gets them in real time, not just confessional. That's something that the way I like to gauge, I'm sure you do too. You have an ear and an eye for that. Like if someone is only giving them to you in confessional and they can't give them in real time, like when she said, no, I'm sorry to interrupt, but just even to reiterate that, like when they were like, did you kill a bird for your shoes? And she said, they were a family. They died together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
She's witty, she's funny, she's smart, she's beautiful. She's got like a lot going for her. My gut, and like you could blame this on, oh, it was just because of the way we were filming, but my gut is like this girl is not in love with Craige. And Craige is not the one for her. And
No.
if you tell me that Craige is the one for her and they actually get engaged, I'm going to tell you that either she'll learn to fall in love with him over time or it won't work. Because when you're in this stage of relationship, when you're in the stage of just dating, they're not even living together, right? They're just dating. You should be like the Corey Samantha vibe, where you're obsessed with each other, where you're so excited. And she's excited for him to come, you can tell, but she's annoyed with him 97% of the time. And she spends more time with her girlfriends than with him. She doesn't want to get in the shower with him. She wants to be with her girlfriends in bed. Like, you're just dating. Like, why are you not wanting to sleep with your husband or your boyfriend? It's weird.
Yeah, it did crack me up when they were sitting there like talking about him. I felt kind of sorry for him, but I was cracking up because it's like, yes, Craige, we've heard on Southern Charm it mentioned multiple times, like Craige can be a little bit of a toddler. I'm gonna say toddler because I don't like saying the word baby, and I've heard people try and be like, oh, he's like a woman. No, don't compare. Just because someone's emotional does not mean they are like a woman. Okay, we express our feelings, men implode, and that's why women live longer. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So I was cracking up at the girls just kind of going on about him, but also Paige, are Sierra and Maya doing great in their relationships? Is that totally their fault? No, but quit worrying about impressing your girlfriends if you want this relationship to work. Okay, just saying.
Do you want to know
but I
my
do
hot
love
take
Paige.
on last night's episode?
Please.
Craige and Sierra, the chemistry was off the charts between the two of them. And the amount of time they spent together in this episode were shocking. The amount of touching, the amount of connection, the amount of laughing together. They genuinely wanted to hang out. Paige doesn't want to hang out with Craige. There was a scene later after the bar where Craige and Sierra are laying in bed together talking. I don't know if you saw that. And Paige walked in.
This is what's so funny. You don't see my notes. I normally share them. I just, for whatever reason, didn't today. I wanted to enjoy this in a different way. I literally have in my notes, I don't know if I am like on a complete roller coaster ride of triggers and losing my mind by Scandival that I was like, something's off. They were doing like taking a shot together, wrapping their, like I don't know what you call it, kind of like when you get married and you do your champagne.
Yeah, they had a
drink
cute
together.
little like wrapped arms around each other drink
like-
moment. But not only that, like the hugs, and she cried to him and she wanted to go and get a drink with him and they danced their way to the bar. Now, do I think Craige likes Sierra? Maybe not so much, but he's getting from Sierra like attention that he doesn't get from Paige.
the
And
affection in a
the
sense.
affection, the attention. I have not seen one moment, one romantic moment between Paige and Craig ever, ever, ever. And
No,
I
it's
think
weird.
why he got upset in that crying moment was he had a vulnerable drunk moment, right? He fucked up. He forgot his mom's birthday. That sucks. That
I
feeling
would
is
feel
horrible.
bad.
And he
Yeah.
felt really bad for himself in that moment. Mine plus the fact that he had been drinking 47 hours in a row. And he goes to her and he wasn't necessarily, I don't think, mad that she like made fun of him. All he wanted was someone to say like, "I'm sorry, babe, it's okay." Give him a
Yeah.
little love.
Yeah. Because when she's like, Craig, why are you crying on a Saturday night? Would it have been better on Tuesday night? Just kidding.
Weird, 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 cold, mean. And that was in a confessional like weeks later, right? That she said that. So, uh,
It's hard because I
mm,
like Paige. I just, something about her I innately like. Is it, I don't know, because it just kind of felt like I think their personalities just don't mesh well together. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
no,
also when you think about it, Paige isn't that far of a cry from being similar to Naomi. You know, Naomi was kind of that way too.
hmm
Now that I'm saying it, it's like, yeah,
she like Paige. I think has more respect for Craig than Naomi did, but Paige looks down on Craig.
yeah. I think she has more respect for him because he has a business now, and Craig didn't have a business whenever he was with Naomi. I mean, let's just call a spade there if we're going to, um, because Paige got the version of Craig that now has kind of come on up, and he's past the bar now that I'm remembering. Didn't he have those infomercials out about
Yeah, he's a
personal
lawyer.
injury? Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not easy to pass the bar. We all know that. So he's, I don't know. I think
She was
Craig.
on an episode of The Toast recently, Paige was,
Mm,
and it was live. So it was just, they just recorded it probably 2 weeks ago.
mm,
And she was just casually chatting about Craig. And she, the way she talks about him, do I think she loves him and like adores him? Yes. Do I think that she actually sees the brand value in Paige and Craig? Yes. I think Craig actually loves Paige. I think Craig
yeah.
would walk away from all the shows if he could be with Paige. I really do. That's my
Mm,
gut feeling about their relationship. I think Paige sees it as like, this is kind of cute. Like we're a Bravo couple.
yeah.
It's cute. And she said on this episode of The Toast, she was talking about the fact that she got some sort of formal letter from an attorney about something that she had posted. And her only mention of Craig, instead of being like, so I asked Craig, how normal people talk about their boyfriends and like
Yeah.
usually a pretty positive way. She was like, and he gave me the worst advice. Couldn't believe he's an attorney, this and this and that. Like she really likes to give him
That's
shit.
her. That's her brand of humor with him, I guess. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
very good for a man though. Like a man at some point, because even Kyle and
Hmm.
like Kyle is really a child too. But Amanda, and Amanda's definitely more the mature one in the relationship, but you can see
Yeah.
that Amanda like obsesses over him,
Oh yeah, she loves him. She loves him.
loves him.
Hmm.
And she can be annoyed with him, she can yell at him, whatever, but at the end of the day, you can tell that she's really gung ho for Kyle. And I don't see that with Paige and Craig.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hmm.
We'll see.
It's it's hard because I think Paige's form of humor is like this sort of self-deprecation that I think she brings Craig into that with her. I don't want to sound like I'm just sitting here defending Paige. But I think that's her brand of humor, and sometimes you need to sprinkle in some lovely things about someone that you love. You know, I so I think, but also if she was on the toast, I know that, oh, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but Claudia, obviously
Hmm.
girl with no job. I think she's kind of got the same type of sense of humor like that, and Paige may have been playing into that, but yeah, I'm not. It's tough. I want to say for the sake of their, I don't know, well being, that I would like for them to last. I don't know what. I don't know what more we can say about them. It just wasn't, it didn't bode well for me.
I want to
Because
watch them. Like I want to keep watching them.
yeah, now I remember like the rooms in the house. It was a weird situation, but if I have a long distance boyfriend, I'm gonna be like, first of all, uh, can I'd be asking Carl and Lindsay, can we have that room, please? If I'm not seeing my boyfriend, you guys live together. Do you guys really need that room? Can you not
She's
share
not
with
doing
someone
that to
else?
Lindsay. There's no way.
See, I'd be like, no, I want some alone time with my boyfriend. I haven't seen him for a few weeks. Like that's the stuff that is weird. And I did get where Craige was actually coming from when he was like, you should be more interested in hanging out with me than the girls. But it's like, you're
I
also,
would be so hurt if I was Craig and
yeah,
like, I was just dating this guy and I went to go visit and the whole time he wanted to have like boys time.
yeah, yeah,
It's weird.
yeah. It is
It's
weird.
weird. It just is.
Yeah,
It's
I
weird.
agree. I agree.
We'll see.
Um, do you think Carl and Lindsay should have just gone on the boat?
Yeah, I think they turned one person into the entire house of an issue. And I think that it makes them look a little bit, maybe immature that they couldn't stick around. But it looked to me like that was a Carl led decision.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, I think Lindsay kind of just like gave in to Carl in that moment because I think Carl was like severely upset over it.
Yes. Yeah. You know, I with Carl not drinking, I think he is still experiencing feeling emotions differently. Even, like I'm not someone who's having to go through AA and do all of that, but even when I was pregnant and I wasn't drinking, I was like, wasn't just hormones, like, the times that maybe if you're at a party or like at something and maybe things that don't normally that you brush off, you feel them a little differently when you're the only sober person and things like
Yeah.
that. So I think he's still really struggling with navigating that. And Summer House is about literally a group of young people excessively drinking and partying. It just doesn't work.
It
Um,
needs to stop. They need
yeah,
to stop.
they just
And
need
like,
to,
did I
yeah.
say it already? But I love Lindsay. I actually
Yes.
adore Lindsay. Carl is not interesting TV.
No,
He is
it
as
just,
interesting on TV as my water bottle. Like
I
he's just
mean, it's
boring. He doesn't
true.
do anything because he's healthy. That's why we don't want to watch healthy people.
It's true.
Honestly, like I was talking about this on my podcast yesterday. I said, what? Because we were talking about Real Houses in New York, the legacy girls going
Mm,
on this girls' trip. And I said, I wish we would have had this person and that person because, you know, you want better TV. Like, and then we started talking about nice people on TV. What Real Housewives, for example, are there that have lasted the longevity of the show that are purely nice? It doesn't happen. I mean,
yeah.
there's a couple, maybe like Dolores on
Yeah.
Jersey. But most there's really not like a lot of nice girls or nice guys that last the test of time on those reality shows. We need to
Right.
see a side of them that is shady, that is,
Willing to stand up for
wild.
themselves. Yeah, that's the thing is, for us society views quote unquote nice women as women who just smile and take it whenever someone dishes something shitty to them or when they're pissed off about something that any one of us would be pissed off. And so, women who are willing to go ahead and go toe to toe with other women, that's hard to do. I don't,
Yeah.
I like to think I could do that. I know
Hell
myself.
no.
I'd be like, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. It meant nothing when you kissed my husband or something. Like I would be
I would
such an
cry
idiot.
the entire time. Like
Yes,
I would be such a nightmare. I don't understand. Like it takes such a special person to be on these shows.
it does. Absolutely. And Lindsay is one of those people that can do it. She is.
Hell yeah.
It's just, where do we go from here is all I really can say.
I
So,
think this is the
okay.
end of Summer House.
I'm afraid so.
One more episode.
We thought it was the end of Vanderpump Rules. I did. I thought this was going to be their last season, but
Well, Carl better sleep with Danielle quick.
get on it, bud.
Or like Kyle should sleep with Paige.
Yeah, or what? They're like best friends with Sam. So that's who they need to go with because she's
Carl should
newer.
sleep with Sam.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or Lindsay
Or
should sleep with Corey.
yeah, there you go.
How about
See,
Lindsay
we
sleeps
solved
with
it for you.
Craig?
They hate
There's so
each
many
other so
options.
much.
There's so many options. They need to figure something out.
I mean, Lindsay and Craig seem to really like dislike each other so much that it could be very I mean, it could be great
Fiery,
or terrible for him. Yeah. I mean,
passionate.
that is the word. Because the cowboy hat incident,
Oh
dude,
my God.
Danielle, what the hell, man?
That was weird. That went to show a side of her that it was so confusing why she got so angry and upset about that. And the fact that she looked shocked when they weren't coming on the boat, I'm like, are you here?
Yeah. What? And when she was shocked that they even left. And that was the thing too. Like it felt so just like a front whenever she said, "Now
Yeah.
this is what we're not going to do. This is what we're not going to do." About two of the guys who are the least involved in the drama, because Chris made that great point that it's like, okay, look, if it were, I don't know, Danielle and Amanda going in there doing this, grabbing the hats, it might be different. But they don't have any problems with us. We don't have any problems with them. We're not being shady or assholes. I mean, was it like juvenile? Yeah, who gives a shit though? Like they were having fun. Who cares? It's not like, I don't know, it wasn't a prank like Jax and them pretending to arrest Tom Sandoval in the middle of the Black Lives Matter movement on television. Like this was not that type of prank. It wasn't a big deal. And I think as much as I could have done without Craige consistently saying bitch this, bitch that, like, sir, no. That you're not allowed, you're not one of the girls. You can't say bitch like that. Excuse me. Um but when he said Danielle was afraid of Lindsay being mad at her, I was like, well, damn, I think he is correct. I that's what it felt
Yeah,
like to me.
it's
It
a
didn't feel genuine.
really Danielle and Lindsay do not have a healthy relationship, that's for sure. Like they should not be friends in this capacity in any way.
No,
Like the expectations of each other and the treatment of each other, it just doesn't work.
it doesn't. Yeah, it's like it's so odd to see such a strong friendship like that just completely devolve into what it has.
Yeah.
You know, I would have never thought I'd see it do that, but you know, I think when we saw the preview for next week, Lindsay and Danielle have that talk and they have that full confrontation and it's rough from what it looks like because that's when we see from the previews and the trailer of Danielle in leopard like hands and knees on the floor bawling her eyes out while the girls are running to her. That is after this confrontation. And
So dramatic.
yeah, I because I had been wondering this whole time, like, what could have been so bad that Danielle is like hysterical on the ground on all fours?
Well, I'm sure Lindsay was not sweet in that conversation. Like Lindsay knows how to fight back, and so I'm guaranteeing you, Lindsay probably was saying some pretty hurtful things in that conversation. But Danielle started this. Like Danielle
She sure
started
did.
all of this.
It's sometimes, you know, it's like maybe you're jealous of someone that is getting something great. But you know what? Sometimes shut your mouth, except when you show your teeth to smile. Just stop talking, smile. And if you want to say anything, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. And move on.
Move on.
It's
Leave. Walk
bizarre.
away.
I just, yeah, I, it's interesting too because Danielle, I saw on her social media, she was just on a vacation and it looked like she was completely by herself. Like no one was with her. And not that it's not okay to travel by yourself. Please enjoy doing that. Ladies, gents, whoever you are, enjoy that. But in light of all of this, it felt a little heavy to see that. It looked like
She's a
she was taking her
lot.
own
She's a
photos.
lot. She's a heavy person, like energy. And, I
Hmm.
also noticed something. I'm going to go to her Instagram because I also
Yeah.
noticed something last night where um, she posted, like a reel of her and
Mm.
on the boat, and it looked really cute and fun because I'm sure they did have a great day on that boat, right?
Yeah.
And the comments I found were so interesting. So like the majority of the comments that have the majority of the likes are comments like so funny how you acted about them wearing their hats, but yet you ruined their engagement. I was literally cringing. I'm surprised at your emotional immaturity. Wait, da 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 da. Like it's going on, it's going on, it's going on, it's going on. There's so many like really bad comments. But then of course, like at the top is Kyle Cook, Amanda saying, best boat day ever. What a day. We had the best time. I think she sent a text to her crew and she's like, please give me some nice comments. Like I'm getting murdered on my Instagram.
See, that's the shit that, ooh, because yeah, girl, you made their engagement about you. What did you expect them to consult you before they get pregnant too? Like,
And by the way,
ugh.
I don't care. Like, I don't care what Lindsay says to Danielle next week. I don't care if she says, I'm done with you, I hate you, I never want to be your friend anymore, because the damage has already been done by Danielle.
yeah.
So like if Danielle turns this last conversation into, oh my God, you don't know what you, but Danielle, you've been acting badly before this conversation ever
Oh, yeah.
happened. And up until this moment, Lindsay has not done much wrong.
No,
Or the
not
punishment hasn't fit the crime.
fit the crime. Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's just kind of like, I had a. Oh, should I? Well, why not? What the hell? When I got engaged, and however that all ended, bearing in mind, I remember I had a friend who very much did something similar, to the point where part of why I didn't think I was getting engaged that day was because she had started an argument with me the night before, knowing full well I was getting engaged the next day. So this is part of where I'm like, even if Carl had told Danielle, she probably would have pulled what my friend did. This friend I had wanted to be in my wedding. I stopped even speaking to her after all of this, because she was horrible. Some people, I don't know what it is, but some people lose their ever loving minds around engagements and weddings. I don't know why people get so nuts
And
on both
babies.
sides. Yes, yeah.
I've lost friends around this stuff too.
It's bizarre. Now,
Yeah.
let me also say this. Just because you're getting married, you need people who are getting married, thinking about it, whatever. You need to remember that this is going to be literally one day and no more than 3 or 4 events leading up to it. After that day
100%.
is over, don't be a monster because you want that one day to rule everyone else's lives who have to carry on after and before it and during it. It's not worth ruining friendships because of one day. Don't be an asshole for that. But also, don't be an asshole to someone who wants to enjoy their one day. It goes both ways. People stop getting crazy over weddings, okay?
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They should be
I'm
fun.
so happy I'm out of that stage of my life. I have to say, like, that was not an easy stage because the drama around these weddings are crazy.
It can be. That's for sure. But who knows if I'm out of that stage in my life. We'll see. I do.
You'll see.
Actually, I'm not, because I have friends getting married.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, but they're chill people. Like, one of them was the maid of honor in my wedding, and she's like she would not be a bridezilla. I'm not even concerned. Watch me next year be like, oh my God, no. I'm not even worried about you, Becca. It's fine. But yeah, so I guess we're just going to have to see. I wonder if they're going to do any sort of special on the wedding. I mean, it's not Teresa and Louie. So, and we've got that finale tonight too. Oh my God. I think we're finally going to get like a juicy episode from
Jersey.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I think Carl and Lindsay would never turn down cameras. I think when you get paid to do something, look, at the end of the day, like, money's hard to come by. It's a business. Like, go for it and get the cameras on there, I would never say that they wouldn't, I think if they got offered it, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, it ain't exciting TV with Carl. And I say this with love, because I think Carl is such a sweet, sweet, sweet man. But it's like watching paint dry.
Go be
I have
healthy.
no interest.
Go be healthy and happy, sir.
Yeah, go. And if you are on a show together with Lindsay, it's just going to be drama between you two, because Lindsay's going to bring drama into your life. Like, I think for them, for the health of their marriage, they shouldn't be on TV, because Lindsay is drama.
Yeah, she is. She knows how to bring that drama. I think she probably still has some of that drama in her actual life outside of cameras, but I don't think it's as heightened, obviously.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, good luck, guys. And the finale is next week. So we've got 3 more weeks. I'm assuming. Do you think they're going to have 2 parts to this? Probably not.
They'll probably do a 2-part reunion. I don't think you can do a 3-parter with this. It's like, what are we going to talk about?
No. Yeah, I mean,
it's a bad sign that we're like, can we wrap it at 2? With Vanderpump, we're like, can we get 7?
Send me 12. Just inject it into my veins,
right?
Please.
Right.
It makes me sad that it might be the end, but hey, maybe these people will find other places to go on Bravo or other TV networks.
Totally.
Well, friends, I'm going to wrap here. Donna, thank you so much for joining me. And again, go listen to her podcast. She churns these out every day, y'all. I'm like, it's wild. And she probably needs to go so she can record her own podcast. And again, you can find her on YouTube, you find her Instagram, TikTok, all of it. And her podcast is Daily Dose of Donna, and that's spelled Dana.
Yep.
Thank
And
you
I'm
for
doing
joining.
recording today a Vanderpump refresh, like a recap of
Wise.
all the seasons within one episode. So I had to like do homework. Like I am
Homework.
stressed out. Like my notes are crazy.
Did you use the guide that Bravo put up about the catch up guide?
Well, so that's the good catch up for like Tom and Ariana.
Right.
But there's so much other stuff that people are curious about. People want to know like when did Lala come in the scene and like what was the Stassi Jax situation? So I had to really go deep and go
Wow.
hard. And I'm here
she,
to do the work.
she sure did. And she's got 2 kids. That was a lot to be doing. I can't wait to listen to that one.
It will be a fun one. It will be out later today.
Okay, good. Well, friends, keep an eye out for that. I'm sure by the time I get this up, I'm hoping today. We'll see what happens.
You got this, girl.
You can do this.
So lovely to have to be on your show, Besties by
Thank
Bravo, and
you.
I can't wait to continue to chat on
yes.
each other's shows and
Yes.
watch this stuff.
We're all going to be back. All right. Thank
Yes.
you, friends. Bye.
Bye.